episode, celebrating 20 years of their Catalyst album. So they will perform that in its entirety. Newfound Glory and special guest Sincere Engineer. It's going to go down at the Agora in August, Thursday the 29th. AgoraCleveland.com will have all the details for you, but I will have these tickets for you all week, right around now. 2 for Newfound Glory. Come and get them. Caller 10. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
What feels great to do is absolutely free, can be done by yourself, and yet no one ever mentions it.
It's the Alan Cox Show
on the Buzzard.
WMMS.
I was checking in on the Guardians-White Sox game. It's spring training right now. It's 8-0 Guardians in the bottom of the third. So I guess the White Sox are just watching. They're just hanging out there. Now, what are you going to do? That's the matchup we're looking at for the home opener, by the way. Eclipse Day on April the 8th. Under any other circumstance, I guess, the Guardians' home opener would be the top-line story. But you know, for an a celestial phenomenon, such as a solar eclipse, that's your A block right there. But by the way, somebody sent me the Yankees are doing a Seinfeld bobblehead night. They're doing a George Costanza bobblehead night. One of our bureau chiefs out that way, go get me one of those, will you? It's July 5th. Or send me one or something. You know, if you're a Seinfeld fan, you remember that George worked for the Yankees. And he was assistant to the traveling secretary. And he really stumbled into the job because he did the opposite of everything he thought he should do. And so when it came time to meet with George Steinbrenner, he yelled at him. And Steinbrenner, of course, Larry David did George Steinbrenner's voice. They would always show George Steinbrenner in silhouette. And Larry David would do his voice. And after Costanza chews him out, he says, hire that man. And that's how George gets hired, the Yankees. So they're doing Costanza bobblehead night on July the 5th. The first 18,000 fans who show up, they're playing the Red Sox. Oh, well, at least it's not a rivalry game. Yankees-Red Sox. So, yeah, I got to get me one of those. I don't think I have any connections over at the Yankees. But maybe there's some kind of inter-office chicanery I can pull off within Major League Baseball to try to get one of these. But we'll see. But spring training, Guardians are murdering the White Sox right now. I got a burp. I'm sorry. Oh, boy.
Come on.
Hold on.
You can do it.
No, it's not coming in. I was reading an article about how Sydney Sweeney's the far right thinks that Sydney Sweeney's boobs killed wokeness. There's been a lot of attention paid to Sydney Sweeney. She's very much kind of the it girl right now, right?
Yeah.
I think her face reminds a lot of people of why they found Billie Eilish so attractive. She kind of has that heavy-lidded look. I think a handful of angry female columnists have written articles along the lines of, Sydney Sweeney's boobs aren't even that big. They're more normal. Which, that's fine, too. But I was watching...
So perky.
I was watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood again, and I forgot she was in that. Not like in a main part, but she's one of the hippie girls.
Oh, she's one of them?
Margaret Qualley, if you know who that is. Andy McDowell's daughter is featured more prominently. That's the girl that was kind of hanging out with Brad Pitt in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And Sydney Sweeney is one of the other girls.
I never knew that.
I didn't watch.
I just watched that not long ago, but they're all so dirty.
Yes. But again, I didn't watch Euphoria, and I think that's really where she blew up. And then she did this rom-com that a lot of people saw, and it was, I saw her in The White Lotus. This the first season of The White Lotus, I think, was the one where I started kind of recognizing her or whatever, but I think she really blew up from Euphoria because she was naked a lot in that show, I believe.
Right.
And she just did Saturday Night Live, and they
Hot
kind of
ones. That
hot
was a
ones.
big one,
Yeah, SNL falls into this thing now where when they have a hot host, half the sketches are about how they're hot.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of people are saying they're really taking the long way around here with this assessment, but they're saying that she killed wokeness because now finally everybody can talk about boobs. You know how we were so dead silent about
can't.
boobs for a long time? Remember how nobody was talking about boobs? Now I guess we can talk about boobs. So, yeah, there you go.
So
Saying that young people today, they don't even know about hot blonde girls with big boobs. Meanwhile, the other side of the coin is people complaining that young dudes, all they do is watch porn. So I don't really think that the right-wing commentators talking about this know what side of this they're on. But I thought that was an interesting, listen.
I still don't get how is this? I can't understand what they're trying to
Because
the point they're trying to make.
You have to agree with the premise that the woke mob has told people they can't talk about boobs anymore, which is patently false.
People talk about boobs now more than ever.
All the time. And some people are attributing that to Sydney Sweeney being front and center. But it's also precisely why, the first few years of her being famous, Billie Eilish was walking around wearing garbage bags.
Mm-hmm.
Because she didn't want
Well, she was
people
also
to,
like 15.
Well, that was part of it, but she also didn't want people to know what was underneath there. She
Right.
wanted them paying attention to her music.
Then she dumped him out.
But, they associate J-Lo with ushering in the heyday of the ass, right? Nobody cared about asses until J-Lo, and then subsequently Kim Kardashian. But now everybody's paying attention, theoretically, according to these people, everybody's paying attention to boobs now because of Sydney Sweeney. But she also has kind of more of the, and that's probably what like some of these right-wing dudes like, is she has a more classic look, right? There's a lot of different types now who are like considered hot. But Sydney Sweeney kind of has this kind of 1940s Veronica Lake vibe to her maybe. And that's what they like. She was in this Madam Web, which nobody saw. So that's not really going to help. I think that was supposed to be her introduction to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but they dropped that thing like a hot potato. So they're not going to be doing any follow-up. No follow-up to Madam
Nobody
Web.
wanted it in the first place.
Yeah, that's what's weird. I mean,
Like, we gotta make this Madam Web movie. It's like, why?
yeah. So, I don't know. And it's got to be weird for her when all of the conversations are about, like, it's just got to be weird for any female, at that level, at that point, where everybody's talking about, your rack or, I mean, she said it on one of the late night shows that she's like, talking about how her grandmother said that she had the best rack in Hollywood or something like that. And everybody got a laugh because she was quoting her grandmother. But, if you're somebody who thinks that we just can't talk about anything anymore, well, I guess you're giving it up for Sydney Sweeney.
I love we can't talk about any. You can't say this anymore. Oh, you can't for this.
Well, listen, there are a lot of things that have changed, but most of those are for good reason.
Right.
And it's not changing your life that you might have to amend the way you address people. That's not the end of the world. You're still living. You're still doing your thing. Doesn't change your life at all. To be a little more mindful when you're talking to people. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing stays the same. But, so I haven't really seen her in anything where she's front and center. She's got this nun movie coming out that it looks like the kind of...
the big booby nun?
Yeah, it looks like the kind of movie you make in between, like... when an actor makes a movie, but it doesn't really get a lot of attention and they shelve it and then they get really popular, so then they bring
go,
it out.
Hey, we can put this out now.
That's what that looks like to me. Because you would think that her people would have been like, maybe don't do a horror movie where you play a hot nun. So I don't know when they shot it. They shot it so they finished it in February of last year. Okay, so the movie is a couple years old now. Or it's going to be a year and a half old, I guess. Which is not uncommon, but...
Yeah.
But, yeah, anyway. So there's this movie coming out called Immaculate. It's a horror movie, and Sydney Sweeney plays a hot nun. I think it's out this weekend, actually. It's out Friday. It's supposed to be pretty good, actually. I was reading a couple things on it because they showed it at South by Southwest, and they were like, it's not a revolutionary movie, but it's got a pretty solid pivot at the end. And that's all I'm looking for.
What horror movie I'm looking forward to is
Civil War?
No. Well, that looks fun too. I'm excited for that. But what is it called? Like Late Night with the Devil?
Oh, with David Dalmastian in it?
Yeah.
Where it's a talk show and the devil shows up or something?
Yep.
Yeah. Late Night with the Devil. I still got to see Dune. I was planning on seeing Dune last week, and I couldn't swing it. I got to get in on that. Hey, Drunk Sue. It's Drunk Sue's birthday today.
Hey, baby.
Hey, happy birthday.
Hey, thanks. How you doing?
Good. Are you 60 today?
Yes, sir, I am.
Look at that. Drunk Sue made it to 60 today.
Good job. Happy birthday.
Beating
Man.
the odds, baby, one day at a time.
Right. Good for you. How are you celebrating, dare I ask?
There you need to.
Are you celebrating with all four locos?
Yep.
Boy, as long as we've been talking to Drunk Sue, she has never veered off the four locos.
She loves it.
They are so good, dude.
I mean, is that still a commonly consumed drink? I mean, I know the heyday of Four Loko is over, but I mean, are there still a lot of people out there chugging the Four Locos?
I think so.
Well,
Wow.
there must be, because every once in a while the store down here will run out.
Because they still have a high alcohol percentage and they're sweet. People like their sweet drinks.
They're good, and I add ice to it.
Oh, you don't want a lukewarm
So
Loco.
just delicious.
Yeah. Okay, so other than that, are you just kicking back and kind of low-key celebrating, or what are you doing?
Oh, we're sitting here talking to the old man, talking to Bob.
Yeah?
I got flowers twice today.
Twice? Why twice? Some from the backyard, some
Bob
from the
got
store?
me some, and then his daughter went and she bought a big old bunch of them
Oh, that's so nice.
too. Got a really nice card with it. and
Yup.
it's-
Now, will you and Bob have
Aw.
any squeaky time tonight?
Well, I'm not going to tell you that.
Why not? You tell me everything else. Why not, Sue? Don't hold
Well,
back.
yeah, why not tell you? Yeah, we're going to have a little squeaky squeak.
Yeah, you should. Not everybody gets to 60.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I just hit a land. What do you call
A landmark? Yeah, it's a round number. Yeah, that's right. All right,
I was
good.
listening to another station another talk show. I won't name it, but it starts with RMG.
How
this
dare
morning.
you!
Oh, as long as it's on this station, I
Yeah,
don't
it's the
care.
morning.
Yeah, it's
Oh, you know,
people who have the audacity to listen
No,
to
they
other
were talking
stations that I don't
about,
like.
they were talking about hangover remedies,
Yeah,
and I've always been a firm believer in hair of the dog.
yeah.
And Rover was like, I mean, the R part of RMG.
You can just say
You
his
can
name.
say it's
He's
the
on
same
our
radio station. Yes, I don't want people turning this station off. It's all good.
We're not enemies.
No,
he does not
please
believe in the hair
listen
of
to
the
him.
dog.
Listen
And
to
I'm
me.
like,
Listen to Stansbury. What?
Well, yeah, I'm a loyal customer, man.
I appreciate that. So he doesn't believe in hangover remedies?
He didn't believe in the
Hair of the dog.
hair of the dog.
Well, everybody's different. I mean, there's a lot of people who think that stuff is bunk, but if it makes you feel better, it just depends on what works for you, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you know you got to be somewhere in a week and you just shouldn't be drinking, then you kind of like taper off.
In a week. It takes you a week to taper? Usually people are like, oh, I can't really get my drink on tonight. I got to get up
Yeah, I
early
can't
tomorrow.
partake today.
Yeah, Drunk Sue's like, I got to be somewhere in a week. Wow.
Oh, that's funny.
All right.
That's funny right there. I don't care who you are.
So
That's
you're
funny
not
right there.
you're not worried about being hungover tomorrow.
Oh, no.
Yeah. All right,
The
good.
only thing that worries me is if the bottle runs empty or the can runs slow.
Yeah. Will Bob cook for you tonight, or will you order food? What will you do?
I don't know. We probably might just order.
Or will you drink your dinner?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Well,
I got
listen.
A cupcake. Listen, I got a cupcake cake
Yeah.
shaped like a shamrock. It's pretty cool, man. I got
Oh,
that
cake.
yesterday.
I thought she said take, like she had a hot take on cupcakes. Oh, yeah, like a
No,
shamrock.
a
Yeah, okay, good.
cupcake cake.
Gotcha.
The only
Okay.
thing is there's a whole lot of icing on them suckers, buddy.
Yes. Well, if it's just mix some Baileys with
I
it. You'll
almost
be
had a
fine.
diabetes attack, and I ain't even got the sugar.
I understand. I understand. You might have gone into a diabetic coma, and you don't even suffer from the
I
big
know.
D. Yeah.
And God forbid that would happen when I got to call you on Monday. I was going to call you Friday, but I thought, no,
Save for your
wait till
birthday.
Monday.
I
wanted to call you on Monday.
knew we were going to hear. I knew it was your birthday, and I knew we were going to hear from you before the end of the show today. So I was just biding my time.
Just twiddling your thumbs, looking at the clock.
Oh,
just
you know me,
freaking out.
just watching the clock.
Were you twitching? Were you
No,
twitching?
was not twitching. Hadn't gotten there yet, but
No ticks are happening, going on, or nothing like that?
nothing like that. No. Okay, Sue, enjoy your birthday,
Oh, and can I say one more thing?
please.
I was sorry to hear about Jenna.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that sucks.
But
'Cause who else is gonna make that
Drunk
noise?
Sue is still standing tall, right? We've had
Yep.
people drop like flies over the years, but Drunk Sue is still out there and making things happen.
betcha,
and,
baby.
All right, happy 60, Drunk Sue.
All right, baby. Thank
All
you, guys.
right.
I love y'all.
Love you too. Happy birthday. There's Drunk Sue. Turns 60 today. That means she is only 7 years older than me. I'll be 53 in June. Maybe I should start sucking down Four Locos. I mean, maybe, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's actually
mean-
exactly what you should start doing.
It has not been an
All day,
easy
every
road
day.
for Sue.